The last time I saw Captain Smart vent, and Captain Smart is talking like he has not been to court before. And my own brother, Captain Smart, sometimes you go overboard because, you need to explain to Ghanaians. You need to talk to Ghanaians. You need to educate Ghana for how court processes work. Nobody has control over the court process. So you can't sit on TV or sit on your show and make it look like, say, Attorney General suitor or record or so your judgment. It does not work like that. As much as we are all frustrated, you need to educate the public. Okay, in Kofojina court, Nkofo are being prosecuted. This is what happens. The people who are being prosecuted, they have their day in court. They also need to speak. So you don't sit on TV and when I see Captain Smart make so much noise and say, Attorney General, no, he's a criminal, I don't trust him. You're not being fair to your listeners.
NDC for throw the fight against corruption. Attorney General way there or on the
You're not being fair to your listeners. You are misinforming them. You need to let them understand. Because you, Captain Smart, so you also want to go to court. You want to be heard. You want the process to be fair. So why don't you want people to also go through the fair process? Unless you don't want to be rude to yourself. Unless you don't want to be rude to Ghanaians. Or then maybe you are using emotions to speak. I respect your job. I respect your credibility. You have worked hard to this point, and a lot of people respect the job you do. But sometimes we need to put our emotions aside and explain to the people. We should put our emotions aside. A court near echo. A oma yes omabokro no wako jina court no. Sebio until they are proven say omabokro no. Nobody can sit and say Attorney General does not want to follow the case. When did you hear Attorney General say it's a case where I don't want to follow it? I am yet to hear one person come on TV, one journalist to say Attorney General went to court and said, I don't want to follow this case again. As we speak today, the Attorney General is always in court. The Attorney General is making his case. The lawyers for the defendants are also there. So why do we have to sit here? Now, I want prosecution done. I want people prosecuted. Does it mean I have to come and sit here and attack the Attorney General? Abraham, knew how court processes work. Abraham, I know how court processes work. So if I know how court processes work, I cannot be a hypocrite and sit here and say, because I said NDC for they have to prosecute, Obianko Jail, I have to come here and speak against the government, speak against the Attorney General, make it look like, say, nobody, you Captain Smart, you have been to court before. You know how it works. You know that people have to be given their day in court. So what is this issue of the country, the Attorney General, the government? You are silly. It is our job, it is our responsibility as the media to educate the public. As far as somebody is in court, there's going to be a judgment. Because the case has not been caught at your pace, because the government is not working, then you are being crazy. Because the case is in court, finality Maya, judge and judge case, Abine is not prosecuted. Then you are being crazy. You need to understand, case or court, it goes through a process. Until we have to ask the court, why is the court delaying? Because the Attorney General has done his job. The Attorney General also on court. Now the court, does he have control over the case? No. He's also in court like the same person he's prosecuting. So who are we supposed to blame? We need to question the judiciary. Why is the judiciary slow? Ain't me? I will not entertain that conversation. Me metran power chanka say, oh, where do you name? And this about disappoint, and this about disappoint you. And this about some catch Ghana for say about power. They will prosecute. Now, prosecute does not mean or do be a court or so chanipan jail. Court na wohono and your papa dia a process no be come. Everybody needs to have their day in court. Obi a dia asama to subiano, sa nipa no e wo so e or send nipa no eso enya na asam ka. So you cannot sit there and say Kevin Taylor, the NDC does not want to prosecute. You are being silly. You are not being smart. Because when I original court is here, and obi do court, and the Adeche say Jeluwa, Obeka say court has not been fair to you. Because oh papa, ya man a chance manankasa. Oh papa, the Canadian court and Adeche say Jelina. Obeka say the court has not been fair to your father. Obeka say Ghana near we are being selective. The court is there working. The Attorney General, ni Eminyan so Obechinko Fogum no so Yaka so why de Juma. Do you think he likes it? No. It's me who journalists meet TV so can say Attorney General no. The last time I saw Captain Smart vent NDC for a campaign no. Omuka say they will prosecute. Say John Mahama ni NDC come more power and come make Ghana for say when we come we will bring them to NDC headquarters and jail them. Or say we will prosecute. Prosecutorial process means people have to come to court and also make their defense in front of a judge for a decision to be made. It means the government has less power when it comes to the court because the court is an independent body. They also sit, listen, and make judgments. If today say and the case was court na the whole case yentina TV so can say and Attorney General on there I don't trust him, he's a criminal. You might not like his style of prosecution. Obia would your pen asem. You might not like the way he goes about his case, Obia or the open asem, but you cannot come to that conclusion that the government is corrupt and that this government does not want to prosecute. When you do that, then you are not being fair to yourself and being fair to the people who are listening to you. With all due respect to you, Captain, and sometimes, I see the way you are so passionate about what you are saying, and I think sometimes you let your emotions take over you. The issues are the issues. We making noise on TV and radio will not push the court, because the court needs to look at evidence, deduce everything before they make judgment. If Chairman Wontumi was your father, if Chairman Wontumi was your brother, and he was pushed into jail in 24 hours, you would have come to speak. You would have made noise and said the court and the government and the day, the constitution has not been fair to another Ghanaian. So why are we not allowing people to have their day in court? We cannot act as if we say every day is because it's against Chairman Wontumi, it's against StoneBwoy, it's against some people we don't like. Judgment should be today. It doesn't work like that. So with this we are trying to make sure we calibrate the system well. It does not mean people are going to get away with murder. It means the system is going to be rigid, it's going to be solid, it's going to be fluid. At the end of the day, justice will be done. Those who have committed a crime will be forced to serve jail time. That is how you govern. That is how you build a nation. But we don't sit there and scream and scream. Mimi Yama and Kachama want to be them 30 years. But I can't get it like that way, because Emra Okronim, because he has a right to a lawyer, because he needs to go to court and also speak. Into Muamuditi radio sono, Muamuditi TV sono. I know how frustrated you are, but you see, because you don't want people jailed more than the Attorney General. Until we need to sometimes sit back and swallow our emotions a little bit and make the factual statement. Ghana for say okay, because you're creating impression. Be say I didn't know jail. No, case record. You don't determine when the person goes to jail. And you, Captain, you know more than I know. Majority of you people sitting on TV and on radio, you know more than I know. When cases enter court, you don't determine when the case should end. It is the court that determines when the case to end. So what has the Attorney General done? And I'm not saying the Attorney General is doing everything perfect. I wish that the Attorney General would do more than he's doing. But the fact of the case is, the Attorney General does not have control over the case. It is the judiciary, it is the court that determines it. We as journalists, we should know more than this. We should be able to educate. As much as I hate Chairman Wontumi, where Jimmy no asasino, I will not sit here and say, Yembuan time abra, sebio, go through the process. No, you get what I mean. As much as say, me name say Chairman Wontumi kromfo. Within Kwasiasem, Edubuan here, Ghana, all the people they have lined up in court, they have caused the nation. I will not sit here and say because I don't like them. For 24 hours from Kukudu, because tomorrow I don't know who is going to be before the court. So we need to stick to the rules. We need to allow the process to work. If we don't have patience for the process to work, then we start to abuse power. Then we start to do the same thing Kufuor did. Then we start to look like the NPP. Nobody likes to see criminals walk, but we need to also understand. 9/11 America, Guantanamo Bay, they have access to lawyers. It should tell you this is a world where people have access to lawyers. They have to make their case. So let's educate the people. Say, a case for quarter, it means they are building up a case to prove at the end of the day, say, the case for quarter, and the process needs to work. And that is what we journalists, we as people on radio and TV, that is what we need to do. Nobody is going to sit here and make you feel, say, because you are screaming, because you are making noise, people should bend the law. No, the law will never be bent. But you see, the issue here is we need to follow due process. Extrajudiciary, let me tell you something. As much as you want to prosecute people, you need to make sure that you do it within the law. People are casting their minds back. Ekufuado, no, you should talk on, no, they didn't kwasiasem, and who before now to take Ekufuado. Now, what to take Ekufuado because he didn't want that to happen to you. You didn't want anybody to abuse the law. You didn't want people to use their positions to intimidate other people. So you voted against Bawumia Ekufuado because Omo Jimmy, they were intimidating people with the law. Now you want everything to be done right. Now you and I know, say, Amman Fabo Chrono. So should we use the Ekufuado tactics, or you, the voting, you vote now, say we should reset the system and make sure, say, even though people have committed a crime, we need to stick within the law to make sure the law applies. Which one are you going to go for? Then it means because if you decide to use the Ekufuado tactics, then it will not be different from what you wanted to avoid. Then this government will not be different from the screaming we're screaming. This government didn't come to power because it wanted to take revenge. It did not come to power because it has put some people down to kill them. It came to power to strengthen the law, for the law to deal with people who have committed crimes against the state. If you want to strengthen the law, make sure the right things are done. You are doing it to make sure that anybody who has committed a crime will go through the process, and that when that person is found guilty, nobody can sit on a wall and say somebody was intimidated, the law was bent to favor somebody. So that is what this government is doing. Abangwe is strategizing and strengthening the law again, putting the country where you want it to be on the right track. Send a obi ko jina court near one fa. Kwasi ebin tumi nkasem ya MPP ni where they are ye. We don't want to practice the Kofo kind of government where Chatuchika Takwa, sorry, or bad diabetes addiction or jail. That's not work like that. As much as we want people jailed, we need to calibrate, make the system right. Say the jail nobody can sit and scream and say Yatata will be papa. Yatata will be mame. And that is what we are doing. And that is what this government is doing. So it's not about how you feel and your emotions. Because Anka open the Ekufuado ye, they're not talking new year, they're not with the court year, Anka 120 year Ekufuado. You voted against the Kufuado because you didn't want to find yourself in that place for Tokonu and the judiciary and the Kufuado to sell your mom, jail your dad, jail you in a way that wasn't right or isn't right. That is why you made that decision. In the sense that what to aba say yantinit in a mino, not a mino angel baby jina and chest will be a boy chrono obedante and just will be a reya obeko. It means the system should be perfect to protect you, protect me, and even protect people we think now who have not been confirmed to say Omia Kromfo, protect them. Because when people are accused of a crime, until the court says away, you cannot say Sanipo Kromfo. So every single person in court today is a suspect. They are defending themselves. So why can you tell me say Aban when person corruption? If you're a journalist like myself, sit on TV and say NDC Aban person prosecute, they are so slow. It's it. The government is working. This government is on point. In Konfura Mujina guys want to prosecute the same people who go 24 hours who jailing because say hey and they did with you. So I saw somebody write something in a comment or say how come they are able to jail poor people faster? That is a good question. You know why? Last Betina Kachira will say it is not easy to push a political criminal into jail. One, especially a political criminal who is financially capable of defending him or herself with 4 lawyers. It is not easy. And sometimes you people think, say, Yakocho Hienino, Yakoche farmer, Wako Akoko, Yanako Jina court, Onisiko of a lawyer. Judge Abusa say, Woody for an audibim. Or say, midi for, and so many lawyer. Then a judge in here. The judge is going to apply the law. Uko Yako Angel was saying. But Udi Chema Wutu Kojina Kota, where we are sika, he can hire lawyers for 10 years. Into every day Chairman Wutumi goes to court, he has lawyers who can delay the case and say, we are doing case management. We filed this document. We don't accept it. We are going to bring another document. These are all delay tactics. Into Ohieni Kojina Kota, how many of a year for one lawyers are almost to Kojina Kota can say, no, I'm going to file this document. I'm going to appeal this. I'm going to Ohieni and say a chile so say farmer or Sediano, send call lawyer papa and call appeal so or appeals court. But did he have a lawyer? Does he have the money? He doesn't. So, Debia Mekache Ghana for say, prosecuting a political criminal. Give to a worry. When we are she has money sitting there. She can go to court, use all the lawyers she wants. She can delay as much as she wants to delay. She can go to appeals court 3 times on a particular ruling. In a case, somebody can go to appeals court and go and contest a judgment in a case. Case we are in the way. You better make a case way. A gift of worry. We are a national service for Sika. Now, Mudi case na drew baby no. Yasi give to a worry. Emfa a krata bimbra. A chrese or your bema no ba. Se judge no or case to say and gift of worry. Emfa sa krata and chrese on your bema no your ba. Gift of or worry bet my sa judgment na judge no. Emeki or sa case no or appeals court. Or appeal is a decision no. Now you only have money. So when you sika who to me yasa. When you don't have money sitting there, ultimately send to your lawyer say, "Yanko appeals court, yanko appeal that judgment before we continue the case." So that is what happens in cases. Inti give to worry the case na judge ni dey do baby I say give to worry. Attorney General say for best certificate, bra, bet you say onya bema. Now you're bar. Now give to worry say me so me for certificate in because me a bema. Now, say judge Nika say, give to worry, may show self certificate in bra. Give to worry, but to catch the lawyers and say, Yanko appeal is a decision or appeals court. Then case in the high court, then we go to appeals court. You could do appeals court. There might not be judges available because ABI judges don't want appeals court in Yano. They have cases they are settled on. Now they need to find a date that is convenient. Judge Betmatana sa ruling so. Now I'm appeals court. na appeals court judge for me and Sasa Betnasa ruling so. Now Sa rulings no echo in favor of Gift to a Warrior. They will come back to the High Court. The judge will have to rescind his decision. Then we have to go back. Now so appeals court na say echo tia Gift to a Warrior. Now we have to go back to the appeals court, High Court for us to continue the case. So you don't see it's that easy. It will prosecute Kromfo where we scar, and this will prosecute Kromphobia or and this will prosecute Oyen because with them they don't have the financial might to have lawyers defend them to go the extra mile. And then they court proceedings, process now criminal cases, no. So nobody should sit on radio and say, "Mempa Attorney General Asam, Abina Jamahama, Abina Fairly Ghana for." No, when you say that, then one, so you're a journalist, then you are ignorant or you are deliberately deciding to lie to the people. We need to educate Ghana for. Chama to me, say, "I know you see or mechanic case or say or submit a submission of no case," and the judge said, "Chama to me, Embra Mekanasem." Chama to me's next move is that he's going to go to the appeals court to go and appeal that judgment. Now, how long is that going to take? So I'm going to appeals court. Now, appeals court is the case. They also have to give them a date. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Now, omunya date now. Do you know how long it is going to take for the appeals court to look at that ruling before they say we side with Chairman Wontumi or we don't side with him? Now, the judgment in the appeals court, you cannot determine the date, a month it's going to stay there. Now, so almost have appeals court and almost have a high court. The case is now going to continue from there. Now, you ask yourself, can you determine when the case is going to? No. It is all about the court itself, how quick the court works. It is not the Attorney General. It is not the Attorney General who is trying to get the work done. So, we should not sit on TV and on radio and make it look like, say, Attorney General Ashada, Wakotite baby, on Bessie Bedi case. No, it is not that. Say, here for your case, na say, it is a 2 days, you're jailing. It is because Sikan Kutano. It is because he does not have the money to get a lawyer to defend them. Massa, when you go to court, it is your money that will keep you in court for long. Unisika around the world was some you in 2 days. And especially African politicians, Chairman Wontumi Sika Guo. Give to a warrior Sika Guo. How many lawyers do they have? Do you think they are going to do this? They are going to make it easy for the government? Do you think that Chairman Wontumi, Mameka Binchiro, Oforiata, Yachini free America did rag Ghana, no Bejina Quarter. It will not take less than 2 years to jail Oforiata. Because Oforiata or American po with my renting expensive lawyers. Now about Ghana, do you know a number of lawyers and do you know how much lawyers he's going to pay to stay in court and defend him? So I know sometimes let's be realistic. This government has been in power for 1 year, 3 months. Abai Weber power, it took off after 6 months. Realistically, this government has been in power for 8 months at Aye Juma. And you expect a government that has been in power for technically Aye Juma for 8 months, to be able to prosecute 20 people. And I know for these cases are all in court. And then be to TV, so to radio, you say, and these in person will prosecute. You're not being fair to the government. If you're a journalist, you're not being fair to yourself, you're not being fair to your listeners, or you are diabolically trying to make it look like, say, Abani Nyejuma, or you have a personal issue with Attorney General. Let me tell you for a fact, the Attorney General is not going to win all the cases. It's a fact. Get your minds ready for that. The Attorney General of Ghana, all the cases are Esumwa Omo fighting. They are not going to win all of them, but at least we are going to win majority of them to make sure people serve jail term. And these are realistic things you need to accept. You need to appreciate that. You need to be realistic. And sometimes some people make it look like Masa Sanka Aban we better bypass the court and Aban we bypass the court the jailing for. And that was what Tekufo was doing. Into Abana Yaka reset and net saying. Net says I was say your money nasa ukojina court to be dear some you do tuma obian to be ye. And that is what we are seeing today. These people can be making noise. Chairman Wontumi can be concerting himself and fooling himself. Say time do. Justice delayed is not justice denied.